Hi, my name is Aishani and I'm originally a student at Queen Margaret University, Edinburgh in Scotland. I've been in Indonesia now for a month in Yogyakarta, and I am doing two TropEd courses here. I wanted to talk about my experience doing the drug and vaccine course. So far, it's been extremely interesting. The idea that I've been able to learn about Indonesia's healthcare within Indonesia has been an experience that I honestly wouldn't take for granted. The fact is that back in Europe, I'm sure as other people are aware, we don't get this kind of exposure, and it's extremely amazing to be able to learn about, for example, in the drug vaccine course, about how vaccines are manufactured specifically in Indonesia. For example, the other day we had a lecture about Biopharma, which is a pharmaceutical company, and we were taught about their procedures for vaccination, manufacturing, and just how they do it here in the ground. And I think that's extremely a valuable experience. On top of that, I think doing this course, I've been able to also interact with locals here and just be integrated within the community, and I honestly really have enjoyed my time here. I think moving on, if I were to take this class again, the kind of improvements I would want to see is just for it to be, I think one thing I would want to see that UGM would do is initially we were taught about malaria, HIV, tuberculosis, and then we were taught about the treatments. I think what could be more beneficial is if we were possibly taught about this at the same time as what the gaps were within the policies and what the gaps are within the vaccination programs here, because in the first week we learned all about the different diseases, and in the second week we learned about the treatment, but more in the manufacturing side of it and the drugs and vaccines. But I think if that were combined, so for example, if we would have a lecture about tuberculosis, within that same lecture they would tell us about the treatments and then what they do in Indonesia specifically and where the gaps are. So that would be my recommendations. But overall, I think it's been extremely valuable experience, and the idea that I've been able to learn about the healthcare system within Indonesia and see it firsthand is some experience that I think is more valuable than anything. Okay.